Persona 5 The Phantom X. Yes, it is a full gacha game, but it is not as bad as you think. This shit actually feels like a proper Persona game. You know, you got the stylish menus, turn-based combat with the weakness system, social links, well, they call them synergy links, but I don't know why, but it is what it is, and even some anime cutscenes. The big change is they ditched the calendar system for this stamina bullshit because this is a gacha game where you can only do so much per day before waiting. Yeah, progression block at its finest. But here's the thing though, it is surprisingly generous for a gacha game. It is very free to play friendly because in this game you're collecting persona instead of gambling for waifus every 5 seconds. But then again, if you like the Phantom Thieves, you can actually gacha them all the way through your entire wallet. Though the story about is kind of new for the Phantom Thieves in this alternate Tokyo. You know, people dealing with losing their desires, and while the first villain is literally just a dude who pushes people on subways. Yeah, I know it is kind of bad actually, but it gets better. Trust me on this one. Production values are insane for a gacha game, honestly. Full voice acting, and the UI is very sexy, as in Persona style, you know? And it runs quite great in mobile because this is a gacha game. This is cross-platform, so you can play this on PC and on your mobile. And the gacha wall hits eventually where you gotta wait or pay to progress. But compared to other gacha games, you know, Persona 5 Phantom X is really free to play friendly because, like I said, you're collecting persona most of the time rather than collecting gacha heroes. So yeah, this is pretty good. And if you can handle all the gacha game bullshit, you know, progression block and whatnot, I mean, this game is actually worth playing, and honestly it is pretty fun. Stella Sora, and this game is also developed by Yoastar, who makes Arknights. So what is Stella Sora? Stella Sora is a top-down action RPG that combines roguelike mechanics with reverse bullet hell combat. You control parties up to 3 characters called trackers as they ascend randomized tower floors called monoliths, directly controlling one main character while the other 2 provide support, fighting through waves of enemies using various skills and abilities that can be leveled up. Each run features randomized gear, talents, and artifacts that modify both gameplay and progression, with stages culminating in boss fights with unique mechanics that require strategic experimentation with different team lineups. And because this game is a roguelite or roguelike, I don't know what's the difference, okay? Yeah, they are going to have a roguelite elements like procedural generated dungeons and the ability to choose power-ups after completing every stages. And being that this game is a gacha game, there's gonna be auto combat available in this game. Well, that's pretty much about Stella Sora, and it is going to be released soon. Yeah, at the time of making this video, yeah, it hasn't been released, but it's gonna be launching on October 19th. So hell yeah, man. Again, we are eating good in 2025. I think this is the most anticipated gacha game release in 2025, Chaos Zero Nightmare. It is a roguelike deck building gacha RPG with gameplay similar to Slay of the Spire, where at the start of each turn you draw 5 cards from the draw pile consisting of all 3 combatants cards and gain 3 AP to spend. You build and customize skill decks for each agent that include basic attacks, elemental skills, buffs, and ultimates. The game features unique cards, branching choices, and evolving save data shaped by your run through the game, making every run feels unique with like this roguelike elements that encourage replayability and experimentation. You can equip partners, which is like weapons on combatants, for stat boosts and skills with matching their class, granting passive bonuses that provide important percentage base stat increases, including critical rate and damage. Between runs, you can spend units, which is the currency for this game, to buy food buffs, you know, something like that. Just some roguelike mechanics or roguelike system. So that's pretty much about Chaos Zero Nightmare. It is an awesome, visually appealing looking gacha game, and it is something new because this is Slay of the Spire-esque gacha game, and we haven't had that in a while. Morimans is one of them. But I think Moriman is more like an indie than a full published game. And yeah, this one is a full published game, so I cannot wait for it. Visually, it is very appealing. It is such an eye candy. Gameplay, love it. Roguelike, Slay of the Spire, and hopefully it's gonna be free to play friendly because this is Smilegate, who also made Epic 7. Yeah, so that is cool. So Chaos Zero Nightmare is pretty cool. Next is Blue Protocol Star Resonance. I know this is not a gacha game, but hey, it is an anime game, it is an MMORPG, and people are playing this game, so here it is. So it is an action combat MMORPG with traditional party roles, you know, like DPS, tank, healer, featuring real-time dodging and combos in an open world. Each class has a basic attack, a special attack, ultimate, and 4 customizable expertise skills, with combat centered on timing dodges, chaining skill combos, and managing a unique class resource bar that fuels your abilities. Boss fights in this game is actually pretty decent and challenging. Also, it has learnable attack patterns and requires teamwork, so I think that is pretty cool. You can swap between multiple unlocked classes anytime, but you gotta pay up for that. You know, you need these tickets to unlock more classes in one character. So yeah, but it is very customizable. You know, you can customize your character extensively and participate in activities like fishing, mining, gathering, and dungeon raids. While an auto combat system handles repetitive grinding by chaining skills automatically, though it is not recommended, okay, for more challenging content. And I also use auto combat myself, and actually it is quite fun. I do like it for, you know, smaller challenges and whatnot. I think it is just a good quality of life. Well, many people are complaining about the auto combat, but I don't know, I do like it because I think it's just a good quality of life. And if you want to tackle more challenging combat, don't use it. I mean, I didn't use it, but for me, in just my honest opinion, I like the original Blue Protocol more than this one. I think, I don't know, the original Blue Protocol has a bit more challenge, more oomph to the attack, more impact, right? And yeah, but this is a pretty decent game, if I must say so myself. And it is an MMORPG, so you can play with your friends and do some raids and have fun with it. So that's pretty much about Blue Protocol Star Resonance. Next is going to be Duet Night Abyss. Now I know Duet Night Abyss is not a gacha game anymore, but it is an anime game. So DNA is a semi-open world action RPG blending third-person shooter and hack and slash combat. Well, this is Warframe in anime style, if you want to say it like that, right? Allowing free switching between melee weapons and ranged weapons, you know, like rifle, sniper, whatever it is. Now, the gameplay itself, it's basically Warframe, right? Hack and slash combat, and you have guns, which means that you can shoot some people. Yeah, that is pretty nice. Now, this game, weirdly enough, has auto combat. Now I don't know how the auto combat will work because as of the time of making this video, this game hasn't been released yet, so I have to check it out myself later when this game released. But yeah, this game has auto combat and auto jump traversal, and you will have 2 partners or maybe 1, I don't know. And yeah, that's gonna be your partner controlled by AI. It can assist you, basically, that's it, yeah. And I cannot wait to be playing this game for a while, and yeah, we are really eating good in 2025, man.
Right?
We've been searching for over a decade.
Next is of course Etheria Restart, releasing this year, and this is another turn-based RPG trying to ride Honkai Star Rail's trend. But at least this one has some balls going for PvP focus instead of just PvE grinding. Now this game is set in far future after Earth froze over. Humanity uploaded their consciousness to this virtual world called Etheria, and now you're fighting corrupted AI beings called Animus. Well, sounds cool, right? Here's the thing though. The story mode is painfully boring with some mediocre stealth sections and half-baked puzzles. But the combat is really decent actually, with turn-based strategy that actually requires you to think about who to pick, and you can just easily swap out your party members in the battle. And the PvP can be genuinely fun. The gacha is actually pretty cheap and characters come fully unlocked as far as I know, so dupes are just for stat boost, not essential upgrades like in most gacha games. Graphics are built in Unreal Engine, and it does look very sharp, but animations lack that, I don't know, smoothness, and it is quite clunky at times for a game, you know, competing with something like Honkai Star Rail or Wuthering Waves. This game got potential to be one of the better PvP gacha RPGs if they can balance it properly. But as of right now, I do think that this is an excellent game helped by frustrating free-to-play systems and a mediocre story mode. And you gotta know that this game is developed and published by XD Entertainment, and I know for a fact that those people who work in XD know how to make great games. They even made Girls Frontline spin-off, Reverse Collapse codename Bakery. I played it and reviewed it here on my channel, and that game was awesome. So coming back to this game, if you're hardcore into PvP, turn-based games, give it a shot, man. I do recommend it. And if you are not, I still recommend it because in its core, it is a pretty good game. It is quite free-to-play friendly, but they just need to balance things out with all the characters, especially in a PvP focused game. So yeah, Etheria Restart, I do recommend it. Try it out and have fun with it.
幸いホームに泊まってくれたな。最悪の事態はさ。
Alright, next we have Kaiju number 8, the game. Yeah, the game is exactly what you expect from a cash grab anime game. So this is a turn-based gacha RPG, of course, the same as Honkai Star Rail and, you know, most games nowadays, honestly. In this game, you have your standard turn-based combat with weakness breaks, buffs, debuffs, all that shit you've seen a million times before. I mean, the original story for the game is decent enough, taking place sometime before the manga ending, with dimensional gates and parallel worlds, but who gives a shit when the gameplay is so mediocre, man. The PC port is quite a disaster. You know, they delayed it without telling anyone for weeks and just drop an excuse that we didn't finish making the port. It's, oh my god, I don't know what to say, but yeah, their communication is absolutely kind of dog shit, honestly. And I mean, it is still a very fun game if you like the anime, but note that Akatsuki, the one who developed this game, yeah, they are known to shut down their last game after just 12 weeks. Remember, 12 weeks, and I think that's a massive fucking red flag. So please just play this without any money, okay? Just have fun playing it, free to play. I mean, if you're a Kaiju number 8 fan, it is quite fun, honestly, because I myself watched the anime and I started playing this game, and I honestly think that this is pretty fun for some time, not in the long run, okay? Because yeah, it is quite grindy, not really free to play friendly in my opinion. I think you would better play something else other than this, you know, and actually play Honkai Star Rail, you know, rather than this game, even though Honkai Star Rail is also dog shit. But yeah, Kaiju number 8, the game, it exists, so might as well just try it out yourself and have a little bit of fun in the game. Overlord, Lord of Nazarick. Now this is a turn-based gacha game again, where you fill up to 4 characters per battle in classic turn-based format, with 5 character types including like knights, warriors, mages, rangers, and priests. The summoning system following standard gacha format, you know, featuring an SSR PD system that increases pull chances the more you summon. Beyond combat, you explore a fantasy world map with chibi characters, well, not that chibi, visiting familiar locations from the anime like the Great Tomb of Nazarick, Karn Village, and Randall. While the game also includes PvP, a line system for wars and exclusive rewards, and an expedition mode that's essential for progression and unlocking character skill upgrades. This game is actually quite fun, and it is staying true to the anime, so I do like that. You can have this quest and then you click and then you will go to the quest and then you will talk to the NPCs and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, this game is trying to be something different, even though the gameplay is basically the same, like all turn-based combat. You can auto, you can do this, do that, you have daily grind. I think it's a very fun anime gacha game, so might as well try it. By the way, this game launched in October 2024, but I think in October, I think it is still pretty new, so, you know, might as well just put it in the list. So yeah, Lord of Nazarick, a pretty fun little anime game. Lost Sword. Lost Sword is a 2D side-scrolling gacha game that launched globally in July 2025. The game is in real-time action, but you can time your ultimates or your skills to fight the enemies. There are PvE modes like story modes, boss raids, even PvP in this game. You will also raise pets, upgrade equipment, and manage a village for buffs. Though the gacha rates are pretty harsh in this game, and there's a steep difficulty wall between the 4-star and 5-star characters, which is not good in my opinion. So it's like that only 5-star heroes are viable for this game. And the game performed well commercially in Korea, but reviews are pretty mixed. Players love the animations, because yes, the animation in this game is actually so good. Well, not better than Epic 7, but similar to Epic 7. And free-to-play rewards is genuinely pretty generous, right? But it gets repetitive after a few weeks, so yeah, the dailies are just not that good in my opinion. And bottom line is that it is visually appealing for a 2D scroller like this, because of the animation is good. I mean, the gameplay is somewhat decent, okay? So I think this is just perfect for a casual gamer than a hardcore player. And I don't know if this game is that popular, so it might shut down in a couple years from now, so just beware of that. Mecharashi. Mecharashi is basically front mission in a gacha game. So the core gameplay is solid, and yes, it is fun. It is a turn-based tactical mech combat with this part destruction system where you can blow off arms, legs, whatever it is, and it actually affects how the enemy fights. Sounds cool, right? Well, yeah, it is pretty cool, but the gacha system in this game is kinda bullshit, in a lack of a better word, because when you hit level 42, and suddenly it's a fucking progression paywall. The monetization is quite aggressive in this one. Yes, it is good, but damn man, the paywall sucks. The story tries to be front mission, but the writing is quite immature, and the UI looks it was made in 2010. It is pretty bad, I know. But the character life 2D is somehow okay. They prioritize the mech models and combat animation though, because the animation in this game and the models, they are looking super good. I'll give them that. But everything else, I think it's kind of meh. It is pretty average. I mean, it is free to play, but designed to kind of, how do I say this? Make you progress really slow so that you can play more of it. Like, why would you even do that? But then again, the combat is pretty unique. The destruction system where you can destroy stuff, where you can destroy arms, legs, and whatever it is pretty cool if I might say so myself. I mean, it is a free-to-play game, might as well just try it out yourself, see if this is a good game for you, and yes, this is front missions in a gacha game. Next is Rememento White Shadows. Now Rememento is basically Honkai Star Rail. This is turn-based strategy game with, open world, semi-open world, which is kind of nice if you think about it, because there's nothing else like Honkai Star Rail at the moment. The gameplay is your standard MP management where you are watching energy bars, but the music in this game again is not that good. But I gotta give them credit, okay, to this game, because the gacha is really generous, right? With 2% rates for 5 stars, which is double in most games. But here's the catch, you need to pull constantly because of the puzzle mechanics and overworld stuff, and the spark system at 120 pulls is all over the fucking place. Graphics kind of mediocre too. I mean, it is quite nice seeing all the animations in this game. It is really trying so hard to be Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact or even Wuthering Waves, man. So I would give this game a 6 out of 10. I mean, it is not the best and it is not good either. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there's PvP in this game, so I guess that is what keeping this game alive. But then again, it is a very, very mediocre gacha game. But I do know that some of you guys do enjoy Rememento White Shadows. So play this game yourself. I mean, if you enjoy it, then, enjoy it. But gotta be careful about this kind of budget, not very popular game, because it might shut down one day. Play Rememento White Shadows. I mean, it is quite nice. So that's pretty much about Rememento White Shadows. Next is SD Gundam G Generation Eternal. Well, I've said this many times that this is this is the best of the best Gundam Gacha RPG in the market right now, and yeah, it is really good. And the gameplay, it is a classic tactical grid turn-based RPG, and it's not trying to reinvent anything because this is perfect, right? You can evolve your suits through different paths, which gets addictive as hell. The story mode actually gives a shit about Gundam history, so I think that is pretty good. Bringing different timelines together in ways, that makes sense instead of just fan service. And what I like about this game is that the animation, right? The animation, they really put the original animation from Cross Race, I think, to this game. I mean, It's not as HD because this is a mobile game, and I don't know why they didn't release it for PC, and I'm still begging that this game is gonna release on PC. Yeah, so great animation, remastered music, and I forgot to mention that this game has a very generous gacha rate, and for me this is a very free-to-play friendly game. Some say that this is not because, you know, the banner rotation is pretty fast, but in my opinion that doesn't matter so much because you actually get a lot of freebies too, in my opinion, and you can get, you know, Gundam, and you can craft your own SSR. I think UR. Okay, in this game it is UR. Okay, basically the 5-star of the Gundam by just grinding, and yeah, you can craft it, not gacha it. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, as the Gundam G Generation Eternal, I think this is a very cool Gundam game, the best of the best, and for me this is very worth playing. The next is Seven Knights Rebirth. Yes, this is basically the old Seven Knights, and they modernize it in a more visually appealing game. That's pretty much it. It kind of plays similar to any other turn-based gacha games. I mean, it is a bit different because turn-based gacha games usually have like 4. In this one, you have 5 party members, and you can change formation, you know, with whatever you like, right? Maybe 2 up front, 3 in the back, or vice versa, whatever it is. What can I say? If you have never played Seven Knights, you actually should try this game out because it is quite fun, honestly. But if you have played Seven Knights before, I don't think I need to explain anything else in this game because every old mechanics in Seven Knights is present in Seven Knights Rebirth. So I'm gonna give them credit where credit is due, and yeah, it is pretty fun. So I do recommend you guys to try out Seven Knights. But again, this is Netmarble, you gotta be careful, and who knows, Netmarble might shut down Seven Knights Rebirth in one day. So yeah, just be careful playing this game. You know, it is a pretty fun game, I do recommend it. And if you have played Seven Knights before in the past, I actually really recommend it because yes, it is that good.
I'll show you power white magic.
Next is Silver and Blood. This is a vampire gacha that's basically an auto battler with gothic paint job. I mean, the story is decent. You're this dude named Noah Nevernight, yeah, who gets saved from being burned at the stake by a vampire girl, and now you are dealing with this black blood disease plaguing medieval fantasy land. Combat is this 9-grid system where you place your vampire units and they mostly fight themselves, though you can pop ultimates manually, it's up to you. Man, what I love about this game is that the art style is gorgeous, like a Korean manhwa meets gothic watercolor, you know. And they got legit voice actors including Takehito Kosayu, and wow, the voice acting in this game is phenomenal, honestly. Problem is, everything outside combat is kinda slow in my opinion. You are waiting for timers, for resources, you know, same as in Nikkei if you've played Nikkei before. So you get offline and they will generate some resources for you, and then when you come back online you can progress. Yeah, that type of bullshit, you know. And the gacha has this awful pity system where you need dupes to actually max characters again. Now, I know this is a practice from Genshin Impact, but honestly, I really hate it because back in the day, you don't really need dupes to play a decent gacha game like King's Raid. And in this game, you actually need dupes to get to the max level. There is something good about this game. It is quite free-to-play friendly, but it's just that when you progress further down the road, there is gonna be some progression block along the way. But when it works, you know, the strategy combat can be quite fun, you know, looking at all the visuals and whatnot. It is such an eye candy for a gacha game. And if you're into vampires and don't really mind the progression block later down the road, I think this game is really worth playing. So check Silver and Blood. Pretty fun game. Next is Umamusume Pretty Derby. Look, I know horse racing, but the horses are anime girls. So if you see an anime girl in this game, they are horses. I know it sounds dumb as shit, but yeah, man, I don't want to question some otakus right up here, okay? To my surprise, this game is actually really good. It is a really good management sim where training affects not just stats but also mood, motivations, and relationships. And I gotta give them credit though, because this game is probably, by far, has a smooth launch compared to any gacha game that released this year. For example, like Mecharashi, Persona 5 Royale, you know how it went, right? The 1.1 patch where you don't get all the rewards that the Chinese version got. So yeah, this is probably the smoothest launch in 2025. Okay, back to the game. The character in this game, like every character in this game, is based on a real Japanese racehorse with their personality and story pulled from actual racing history. The production value is insane, you know, best live 2D models out there, full voice acting, concert scenes that rival actual idol games. The gacha game focuses on support cards, not characters though, so I think that is pretty good. And it's not as predatory as you would think, because of course, if you think that, you know, this is a game from an anime, it's gonna be some cash grab, but it's not. It's weird, it's kind of fun, it's a game on its own, it has its own niche, and I like it. So yeah, Umamusume appears to be a super unique game that I really recommend playing. So the last but not the least is Blade and Soul Heroes. Yeah, this game is a prequel to the main Blade and Soul game, but instead of pure martial action MMORPG, you get this weird hybrid system. Sometimes it can be turn-based, sometimes it can be action RPG. I don't know why. It's weird, but I guess it is unique in a way. The story follows some chick named Yusol trying to rebuild her clan and get revenge, which is fine I guess, rather than the main character forgetting his memories of the past, right? And note that this is an MMO, so expect some grinding and raids, which can be fun at times, you know. The combat can be flashy and fun early on, but then the gacha comes in, man. The monetization is quite aggressive, subscriptions, you know, gems, battle passes, yeah, the whole predatory package. You can play free, but the grind becomes really real. But let's not complain about the grind, because in the golden days of MMORPGs, right, this is also a thing. And also you gotta notice, paying players will always have a massive advantages. And while they try to make it less grindy for the Western release, like for the global one, it is still a heavily monetized gacha MMO. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But this game has this thing called gear sharing system, which is better than the Korean version, right? But that's like saying that it is a shit sandwich with less shit in it. Well, if you're desperate for more Blade and Soul content, maybe try it for a few hours. But this is just another gacha MMO that wants your money and nothing else. But you can see the fun in this, right? Hybrid action and turn-based. Maybe that will suit your playstyle, who knows? So that's pretty much it about this game, and that's pretty much about this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.